Let's move on. We have another example of the la of absolute negation in the phrase la ikraha fit deen. Absolutely no compulsion in religion. So Allah is being emphatic. So when you read the Quran, you need to go to meet, we need to get the emphasis on the emotional impact that understanding the Arabic grammar will cause you to have, and then you will be responsive to the message, inshallah. Let's move on. Then another example is the one that most of us know. ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. We have La Rayba. You don't see it on the screen here. It's a mistake on my part. But we have La Rayba in that particular ayah in Surah Baqarah. He could have said La Raybun, put an un on the back. No, he didn't do that. He put a fatha there to let you and I know you shouldn't entertain at any second or any moment that there's some reason for you to doubt the authenticity of the Quran. In another example that you see here, I'm looking at it now. فَلَا رَفَثَ وَلَا فُسُوقَ وَلَا جِدَالَ. Those red letters there, the tha, that's causing the la in front of it, where we got fala to be the la of absolute negation. So God is telling you and I, when you go to Hajj, I don't want none of that stuff. I don't want no obscenity, no wickedness, no disputing and wrangling. And he's being very emphatic about it. So Allah is emphasizing this very strongly. Another example that we have here in the Surah 10, verse 64, La tabdila khalqa li kalimatillahi. That is, there can be absolutely no change in the direct declarations of Allah. So what does that mean? That means simply that when God says a thing, he don't alter it and change it. He says it one time, and you all know he said, kun fayakun, be, and so it is. So he's not a being that has any properties of indecisiveness. Moving on. Yeah, here we have it. Let there be absolutely no change in the human created patterns of Allah. La tabdila li khalqillahi. And notice I'm saying li khalqillahi. Why did I say li khalqillahi? Because there's a kasra right there on that fa. If you see my cursor moving there. So that kasra there causes you to flatten out the sound of Allah. So that's why I said li khalqillahi as opposed to li khalqillahi. Moving on. La simply means no in and of itself with no particular emphasis. When la is followed by fatha over the noun that follows it, called in Arabic the la of absolute negation, the la that cancels out, again, the very existence of the noun that comes after it. An example I gave, well, Allah says la rayba, cancel out the idea of doubt. He says la ilaha, cancel out the existence of a small deity except him, because Allah is the one and only deity. He's not small either. So I hope that's clear, and you should know that that's a powerful tool that Allah uses in many, many ayahs of the Quran, the la of absolute negation. So I hope you will remember never to lengthen that ha on la ilaha. La ilaha, I'd have to say, nope, that ain't gonna get it. So I encourage you to tell others, and this is solid Arabic grammar, inshallah. All right, so here's the Dalik al-Kitabu right here, but we'll move on from that. The la of intensity. Now this is just L with a fatha. Surely, surely the humanity to his Lord is extremely ungrateful. This is in the Surah 100. In fact, we know that this surah is talking about horses, right? And praise be to Allah, we know from the Imam saying it in a very emphatic and emotional way, if you keep beating a horse, he will run himself to death. And we know that the horse gives his all. And the Imam mentioned about, why do you think they use horsepower when they talk about the power of engines and motors and things like that? Because that tells you that if you run it over 25 horsepower, that entity or that engine or whatever will kill over. And so Allah has it that the horse, he will give his life for you and us.